So you've almost made it. We're onto the back cover, and I promise you this is quite painless. If I twirl open so you can see the grids and formatting, we've got a large image we'll place in the background and a simple kind of stamp style version of the cover artwork. You've created the title for your brochure, and we'll shrink that down to 50%, place that here and put some made up but realistic looking contact details at the bottom. So first of all, if you head to your front cover, that's going to give you the artwork you need. And let's just shift, click, copy, come down to our back cover, paste, and at the moment it's invisible because it's white on a white background. If you want to change that just so you can see what you're doing, hit J, open swatches, and pick something like a neutral grey. I'm then going to hit E, which brings up this free transform tool, and you want to pinch a corner, Shift and Alt or Option drag down to roughly 50% so that it's going to fit within that bounding box at the bottom. Our smart guide is telling us that's center aligned, and I'm just going to delete the placeholder here. You could of course just update the fonts, but I think this way is a little faster. And let's place that with roughly equal spacing between our makeshift logo and the details below. You'll want to finish strong, so I'm going to hit W so I can see the formatting, and we're ready to drop our background image in. I'm going to drop in the image I'm intending to use, and actually I'm going to need that text to be in white. It's not a problem. I'm going to shift select it, hit J to bring up the text formatting, and we'll pick a stark white. I actually quite like that the key line is less prominent. It seems to make it recede into the background to some extent. So I really like that. I think that's a simple, effective back cover and a nice way to round off the design. So just one step remains, which is presenting all of this with a photorealistic mock-up. Now, before you're able to do that, we just want to export the artwork. So flick back through the pages, make sure you're happy with everything you see. You can delete the worksheets, and to do that, simply open pages and ensuring they're both selected, hit the trash can, and that will allow you to delete those worksheets. When you're happy with the way everything looks, you want to go to File, Export. You can see I've already exported this myself as JPEG files, and I'll show you the options that come up in the next dialog box because these are quite important. So you could see that I had not JPEGs for each individual page, but I had JPEGs for mine as spreads. In fact, to follow along with the next lesson, you may want to export these as pages. If you're showing them off directly like this in some kind of portfolio, I would export them as spreads so you can show off the design as a whole. Quality, I think high is good enough, and a resolution at 300 ppi. Just make sure you've embedded a color profile, which is sRGB in my case, and you want to turn on anti-aliasing. That's quite good. That sharpens up the fonts, especially for a JPEG. And finally, you do want to use the bleed because we've taken care to observe that in the document. So when you're happy with those settings, hit export. That will save your pages as JPEG files to your hard drive, and you're then ready to follow along with me in the next lesson where we'll mock these up so it really looks its best.